Hey, welcome back to Copperhead Customs. Welcome back to a new episode on our 28 Oakland. Today we're going to try to make these panels. Wish me luck. Okay, so what we basically need to try to attempt to make, with the big emphasis on attempt, because we've never done this before, is this car was originally a 4-door, correct? So this was this piece in here originally. This would have been where the back door was. This would have been the front door, okay? So we want to basically try to replicate this. This is a tiny bit too long, but we basically want to replicate this to fit into here, okay? So we want to put these on the top, and I'd sort of like to put this little set that on there. We'd like to get this little notch in it if we can. Now, worst case is if we can replicate this bead roll, which I have no idea if we can. Don't mind my dodgy finger. I sliced my finger open pretty badly. If we could replicate that, we could always chop this, you know, somewhere, maybe even on that edge, and re-weld it if we have to. Now, I prefer to just try to make one from scratch if we can. But worst case, if I can't get this to happen, because we don't have a folder, and we don't know, we've never used our bead roller, it's still sitting over there in the box. Over there, in the box. Haven't even unpacked it, so we're going to unpack that. We're going to grab a piece of aluminium sheet from the wall over there, start with, and just do some, see what we get. We'll do some different rolls and see if we can actually get any of this to replicate, to try to remake this piece for there. Okay, we'll see how we go. If we can pull that off, and to bend it, we'll just be putting it on, to get these bends, we'll just be putting it on the bench, I think, and hitting it with a hammer, I would say. We could go to my mates, but I don't really want to. So we'll see what we can create. And then in the back here, we've got to make a piece for in here. And we'll do some sort of a pattern in there, I think, to make that look a bit nicer. Some sort of a bead rolled pattern in there. Well, the seat has to come back out. Our seat has to come out. Beautiful crocodile seat. Oh, yeah. So that has to come back out. Personally, just on the seat, I don't like the head cushions for myself. I think the wife did. So when I sit over there, I'll be flicking mine out because they square me up too much. Whereas with that one out, I lay in the car beautiful. Okay, so that's just me. This is why I made them like this, so this can be thrown in and out. Same with that, can be thrown in and out. So anyway, we're not here to talk about the freaking seat. We're here to try to work these out. So we've still got to weld all this out. I've got a couple bits more RHS or SHS, whatever you want to. So we're going to put a piece across the bottom, I think. And we may do maybe a couple of verticals in it or something to give that some more strength. We've still also got to weld out properly. All of that stuff down there has to all be welded correctly. But like I've said, there's a lot in here that's just sort of been tacked in, is not welded fully. So that can all get done later. So even when we make these, we won't actually have them put on finally. We're just going to make them. Okay? That's the plan. Enough rabbiting. Let's see if we can try to get... First thing we'll do is we'll get the bead roller out, set it up, and we'll do some little tests with all the different dies and see what rolls we can make. If any of that made sense, you're doing better than I am. A Reaper.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna
wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit, I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant, I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, no, this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah, there's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing a...
We're back. Pissing down rain. Well, it's just stopped actually. Humid as today. It is. Look at me sweating now. It's because it's so freaking humid. But anyway, enough whinging about the weather. This is what we've done. We've folded that back around on itself. Can you see that? Yes. Right. So now we don't have a folder. So what we did is we stuck that on the edge of the bench. We tapped it down. Then tapped it around. Squashed it back on itself. Yes. Then we ran the bead roller and put a ledge in. Now that was really difficult because we had the double thickness there then. So that was quite a difficult one to run through back and forward. It's having a bit of a hard time. Really we need to mount that bead roller onto a nice, onto the bench properly. Probably not even that bench, probably maybe even onto that bench. But anyway, that's different. So what we've done down here is we've put a bead roll in this bottom panel down there, to match that body line over there. Now that's not on the door, not that you can see, but the door actually stops up here. So I don't know if we make another little piece, little thin piece to go on the bottom, or we just leave that. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, we put that little bead in there, and we've done our top bead up here. Now I actually just made a stuff up. I actually put the clamp in on there and just dented it, so I'll have to do a bit of dolly work on that. But there's our. It's a little bit not quite perfect because realistically I need to mount it on a better bench, and it would also help with an extra set of hands. So anyway, but we've got, it's not bad, eh? It's okay. So now what the plan is I've got it all clamped. I'm going to hit this with the hammer and fold this over to there. We'll then work out how to dress what we do here. We might even just get away with that being bent over, or we might do a little trim or another little fold and a weld or something there, or that might just be okay. And then over this side, what I think we'll do, I'm not sure whether to do it on this. Well, we'll bend this around the corner here. See, we'll bend this around as well. And I'm thinking of maybe putting another little bead in, a little fold in there along that edge, along there, like this. And then our back piece can come in and butt into that, and we'll drill holes in it and we can spot weld it along there. Maybe. That's what I'm sort of thinking. Don't know. I'm making it up as I go, remember? Because, yeah, somehow we got to join this piece to this piece. So yeah, I was thinking if we fold another one of these in it, on either or has to have that. Either the piece that goes across there, we do it to, or we do it to this piece. We notch that in so it goes like that, and then this piece comes in and butts up into that little recess, so they're kind of flushish, if that makes any sense. Probably not, maybe not. So so far so good. Now this actually has the curvature in it, but at the moment we're okay. It actually, when I did that, it put a little bit of a thing in it, so I don't know, we'll see how we go. Now we've got to bend that one, so whether we lose our bend or not, I don't know. We might try to do the same and actually leave this clamped. We might try to clamp this up somehow or something and knock that around. But anyway, we're getting a start. Sort of cool in, and hey, let's see. Not really in the mood today, so we're going to fold this over, and then we'll see how I feel. I might call it a day, I might not. Reaper. Right guys, there you go. There's our first piece. Not bad, if I do say so myself. Oh, I haven't checked this, so let's just check this. Hopefully we got this good. Well, gap's a bit, oh no, there we go. No, well, I'm in it. Let me sit you up here. And let me check this out. Hopefully I haven't stuffed it up. I haven't checked this. It was all clamped. There we go, look at that. When that's pushed in there, we've got a gap, even gap along here. It's probably a bit bigger than I'd like, but, well, not a gap, but our body joint there. It's probably about the 6 mil, quarter inch. So I would have liked that a touch smaller, but not much I can do about it now. I think I actually made that throat a little bit too big. It was bottoming out, I think. But yeah, that's passable. We can handle that. I'll hopefully that will stay there. I'll bring this over. So there we go. We've got a nice even gap along there. We've got our body line on the bottom. That back corner pushes in a bit. We've got our body line at the top. Now we sort of lost this lip when I folded it over. It is still there. Focus. It is still there, just not as big. We're actually folded around there. We'll do a little tiny weld there and grind that down. Same on this. That will just get a little bit of a, get my ugly finger out. That will get a little bit of a grind there, a little bit of a weld. Now then along the back here, so this is actually curved. I don't know if you can see that. That's actually, it's got its curve in it. So we did all this without a shrinker, without a stretcher. We did it all with a hammer and dolly. No folder, nothing. So we've got our fold on. I hammered that around. And then this was all wavy, so we dollied that. And we got that pretty damn good. As you can see there, it's pretty good, eh? Then we went and stuck it back in the die roller, and we actually put you can see that, we put a little fold down in there. So our other piece, if I grab my ruler just to demonstrate, our other piece will sit in there, like that. And then we'll run a weld along this edge, in there. We'll have a nice bit to weld to. If I can grind that down. So there's our first panel. It's not bad, I think that's passable. I've never done this, guys, never done it, so I'm just teaching myself as I go. And I don't know, I think that's passable. So now we've got to try to do that again over the other end. And then what we'll do at the top here is we'll probably cut a bit of that there off. We cut a bit of that off there or something. And now a piece across the back, we'll do the same. We'll fold over, boom, boom, and we'll weld it along there. We'll weld this bit here, weld it down, and then down there. On both sides, we'll do that. Grind it all back. You never see it. Look beautiful. Now what we do have to do is we've got to run a piece of RHS across the bottom here. And do something with this one. This one has to be lengthened. And that one has to be shortened. And then what I'm thinking is we'll put a couple of diagonals in to stop the side-to-side movement, and we may throw a vertical in the centre, maybe, I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. And then on this piece that comes across here, it's going to have this up the top, this same body line, and then because this is lower and we've got this section here, I think we might throw a bead roll in there somewhere, or do something. We'll do a little pattern in there, because I think our tub here sits about there, so we'll do something, put a little pattern in there is what I am thinking. So there's our first panel. Not bad if I do say so myself, I think. Now we're not here for perfection. I'm not doing perfection, I'm building rat rods, alright? So, you know, there's going to be people that are going to say, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, it's a bit rough and whatever. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, whatever. I'm not really fussed, it's good enough. Good enough. It's better than what we had. We had nothing. That's my logic. And it's pretty damn good, I think. Now this, I said to you, I'm thinking about doing it in bare metal. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I'm actually thinking of just painting it, but just painting it with a roller. Just do an old school and maybe have a little bit of patina come through, but yeah, that's what I'm kind of leaning towards at the moment. Maybe I'll just paint it all with a roller, grey or black. I'm thinking. We're going to lose that bonnet. We're going to make a new bonnet. And yeah, we went and dug some stuff out last night. So we grabbed our 32 body, all our 32 parts, and there's our Jag rear end for this car. So we have to work out whether we are putting this in or taking the cradle out and building something new. And then we also have to work out about these arms. We've got to make something new for them. We'll have to go over this and clean it all up before we get too carried away. And that there is our Jag rear end, IRS. So yeah, but I'm looking at it. So they had this mounted. This is how they mounted in the Jags. They mounted in with these rubber mounts. So we've got to do some measuring to see what the width is, whether they would go straight in or not. So they mounted this cradle in with the here into the chassis, and they have it rubber mounted, which is pretty good. But these are prone for fail when you throw big power and do crazy stuff. I've been watching some stuff on YouTube, some of the blokes that race the Jags. These things can fail. So yeah, because realistically it doesn't really bother me about having this cradle. We ain't building, this isn't a show car, the Oakland, it's just we're just building a freaking hot rod. So yeah, we can get funky and build a, so it's bolted in, the center's bolted into it there, and then we've got our shocks are bolted in to it, and that's basically, I think the bottom has a little bracket down the bottom here for the lowers, maybe are joined into it as well. So if you get rid of this, you got to make a mount that goes across the top to pick up those bolts, that comes out here so the shocks can go through it, the two shocks, and then that could get welded into the chassis, and then the bottom you need to make a joiner that holds the base to hold the lower control arms. So we can do that if we want, but honestly I'm thinking I might just throw this in as it is, and who knows, we may luck out, and if these are in the right plane, then we've lucked right out, and we just bolt these into our chassis. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be awesome? I'll go get a measurement now, eh? Let's go get a measurement now, and we'll come back in a second.
They call me a god. 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 Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession, I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Back. So it is, the rubber mounts are too wide. This is around it's about 100mm too wide, but I think we could delete the rubber mounts, and the top section of that is basically the exact same dimension as the chassis rails outside to outside. So I'm thinking that we could maybe, now they do have these rubber mounted for a reason, right? But I've been doing some research, okay? So they have these rubber mounted because of these trailing arms. They only have movement one way, and this is to help it. Now, I don't think there's any reason why we can't just weld this straight to the chassis. I really don't think there's no reason why we can't, and that actually fits. So from here to there is near on perfect to the chassis. So I think we could do that. I really do think we could probably do that, and delete these, and then also we're going to change these. We're going to make some with Heim joints, which I think then gives us what we want. So I'll do a bit more research before we get carried away, but I'm thinking that we can just weld this straight in. I really think we can. So I think that's going to be the plan. We're going to weld this straight to the chassis. Now I know these, like I said, these are rubber mounted because for some movement, but I think it's all to do with these trailing arms. Now when we change these trailing arms to the Heim joint style, it gives it that extra movement this way, because that doesn't have that, whereas a Heim will. So I think we can just pull that off. We're just going to weld that straight in, I reckon. I think that's what we're going to do. Anyway, that's all I'm going to do on this episode, I think. We'll get this one out, as I haven't been getting them out very often. So we'll get this one out on that. We've just got that one body panel done. We'll continue doing that in the next episode. Hopefully in the next episode we can we'll get the other side done, and maybe the back piece in the next episode. And maybe even a bit of that framework done, and then that pretty much has that half completed. We've got to pull the seat out. Our beautiful, look at it, oh yeah, our beautiful croc seat has to come out now, and we need to go through, and we'll start welding all that out soon. We've got to weld all this frame out we've made as well, and we can start looking at piecing this together. We can then start looking at mounting our door latches, filling our holes. Yeah, making some progress anyway. I don't know, we might even do something on one of the other cars too. So anyway, thanks for watching. Short, sharp, shiny this one. And don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Let's grow this channel, and see you in the next one.